Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of our Satisfactory Let's Play. Let's go take a little trip into the steel factory that's gotten a minor upgrade. So all of the iron and the coal miners are now Mark IIs, which means we have a doubled size steel plant. So now there are 6 smelters turning products into steel ingots. And then those steel ingots are being made into tubes, beams, and then I also have a encased industrial beam line going now. Which means I also had to tap into some limestone that's right over there, so I bring that over into the factory now. And we're making our encased industrial beams, which are going to a truck stop. I also finished the rest of the tier 4 milestones. Unfortunately, I won't have a button montage for you today because I just forgot to record them. I did these milestones variously over like a 10-hour period of me dicking around in the game. But I'll go over what they are for, just to give you guys an overview. So we unlocked the blueprints, which just, kind of says what it is on the tin. You lay this blueprint designer down, and then you build something, machines or various structures inside of it, and then you can just save it, and then you can lay them out in the world. Unfortunately, the thing itself isn't that big. Let me see if I have the stuff to build one. I don't even know what it's under, actually. Special, maybe? Blueprint designer. So, I mean, it might seem big, but you are limited to blueprints that fit with inside of this box here. So any large structures, some of the machines I don't even think fit here. I don't even think a coal plant will fit inside of this thing. So, you can make some things, but it's not gonna be good for everything. Anyways, we'll move on to where you did logistics last time. Hypertubes, kind of like the jelly and the, what the hell are they called? The jump pads from, was it tier 2? Jump pads and the jelly lane. I don't know if I'm going to use the hypertubes much, especially right now. Maybe later on when I have massive factories that are, like 10 stories high or something, that we need some verticality to get up quickly. Maybe, but for now I'm not really going to mess with them. I also unlocked the expanded power infrastructure here, so we got batteries basically just in case our power fluctuates, which shouldn't really be a problem for us. So I don't know if I'd ever build these, but maybe, they're available to us. And then there's also the power towers, which are just super big power poles. Let's see here. I have figured out one thing. Apparently I was using the power towers wrong. This here is actually just so it connects to like the normal power poles. It actually has its own, its own thing for connecting to other power towers. So as you can see, that thing can go super far. So I'm gonna replace some of our power poles with these bad boys. And then, was there anything else? I think that was all 3 of the milestones that I unlocked. Yep, that was all 3 of them. So we're all done with tier 4 now, which means we have to start working on our goods for the space elevator. So obviously we know how to make spark plating. That's fairly simple. Just the rotors and the reinforced iron plates. Now the problem with this tier, the tier 2 of Project Assembly, is going to be the versatile framework. These things require modular frames and steel beams. Steel beams, easy, no problem. However, modular frames, I'm actually making some right now, but I have one assembler making modular frames, and it makes them at 2.5 per minute. And this thing requires 500 of these to do this, which, at 2.5 a minute, it's going to take forever. So, plus we're going to need modular frames for other things in the future anyways, so we're going to have to expand our starter factory here quite a bit so we can build modular frames, which means all of our miners here, which are still tier 1, are going to get upgraded to tier 2, and the factory itself is going to get blown out and become at least twice as big. Probably more. I might tap into the iron nodes up here to start making way more screws and rods and stuff that we're going to need. And then also the third item is the automated wiring, which actually isn't a huge problem. Stators are pretty easy to make, if I recall. Let's build an assembler real quick here. So stators require steel pipes and wire, so not a problem whatsoever. It'll be easy enough for us to make stators. Which we could actually probably make them down at the steel foundry, because we got the steel tubes down there, plus we have these copper nodes which aren't being utilized down here. Now here's the problem with the tractors. Unfortunately, all three of them they kind of meet in this general area here. All three of them kind of converge, and then these two will definitely converge over here. So I might have to play with their pathing a bit, unfortunately. So what happens when they get stuck, you just jump into one, you just move it, and you jump out and they'll go back to doing what they're doing. But I gotta work on that a little bit. It's kind of a problem. I have to, at least every like 10 minutes or so, one of them gets stuck on another one. So that is an issue. But anyways, today what we're gonna be doing is we're going to be doing the last thing we have to do before we start our glowing up of all of our factories, because I'm still not producing any quartz to make silica or quartz crystal, which is basically the last of the, I don't know if I want to call it the intermediate products. Right, everybody, our quartz factory is up and running. It's another really straightforward setup here. Basically, I've got two miners, miner Mark IIs. Wait. Right, color consistency, excellent. Anyways, we got two miner Mark IIs here making quartz crystal and silica. I think I'm way overdoing the amount of silica I'm making, but I've got one miner doing one and one miner doing the other one. I've got 6 machines making quartz crystal right here, so we're making 225 quartz crystal a minute. And then I've got 10 machines making silica, which are making 375 quartz or silica a minute, which like I said, I think is way overdoing it. But I just wanted to get them produced and up and running. So we just have this basic factory all set up, and I've got a truck line running all the way back to our factory, or back to our starter factory rather. So I've made some looks like I got a couple trucks stuck. I'll have to fix those in a minute, but I've got another truck stop over here ready to go. And I've made some adjustments to our little transport hub there. Also, I gotta say, I really hate these trucks. I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but they spin out all the time. So I'm gonna have to go through and fix some of these nodes here. If you guys don't know, you can go up to the nodes here and delete them, and it'll help fix the pathing issues in case when you're recording, all of a sudden the truck spins out and starts going this way for whatever reason. You can just delete those nodes and then it'll continue going on its nice straight path there. So I'm gonna fix that up, and then we'll end up back over at our transport hub. Alright, I am done messing with the nodes for that one truck path, and we are back at the transport hub. So I made a few changes over here. I've got an awesome sink and all of the overflow from the copper factory heading into this awesome sink, thanks to the smart splitter is able to take care of that. And then, like I said, I added another truck stop over here, which is just dropping off all the silica and the quartz crystal. I tidied up this stuff a little bit, so I also have all of the overflow from the steel factory going off into this awesome sink. plus the overflow from the black powder factory as well, so that's all getting fed into there. And this is just I asked the other, I think it was last episode, about how to feed fuel into these truck stops. Basically, I just decided to do something like this. You know, it's getting unloaded from this one, and it's feeding the other two the compact coal to keep the trucks fueled. So, you know, simple solution. It's the best I could come up with anyways. So that's what we're doing there. Alright, now that quartz is taken care of, our next big goal is, actually let me check, what's our power usage? Yeah, still 1,100. But we don't have to worry about our coal plant just yet, so our next project is going to be our starter factory here, and dismantling it and rebuilding it for, I think this is the third time now. So here's a bit of an update. The starter factory has been dismantled, and I have expanded out the foundations quite a bit, as you can see. I've also done some building up here, and I've got the miners all hooked up and ready to come into the new factory. I've also been messing around with some blueprints here. Well, a blueprint. Be loaded up real quick. Just a basic little, I know I'm calling it the smelter core. It's just 8 smelters all hooked up with conveyor belts and whatnot. And I'm going to need to make 8 of these. If you look on the right hand side of the screen there, that is all of the things that I'm going to need to build in this new factory. I need 48 smelters, I need 80 constructors, and I need 26 assemblers. I actually think I'm going to do something probably a bit different from what a lot of people do with their builds. I'm actually going to build it, I don't know, upside down. I'm going to put the assemblers on the bottom floor, and I'm going to put the smelters up here on the top floor, and then all of the constructors are going to be on the middle floor. And then, so the final product will be down there on ground level, getting sorted out in bins with someplace that I haven't decided where they're going to go yet. Also, to note, since the factory here is getting much larger, I'm actually probably going to have to redo a bunch of this transport area as well, because there's just not enough room to get through that tiny little gap there. I'm going to have to build over it or something. Plus, it wasn't really functioning that great anyways, because the trucks were getting stuck on each other a lot and whatnot, so we're gonna have to be doing a lot of stuff here. But I just wanted to give you guys an update real quick. But I'm gonna continue messing around with blueprints for the constructors, and probably don't need to do it for the assemblers, and then also try to figure out how I want everything laid out and how I want to manage that with trying to make the build look aesthetically pleasing. So this is going to take a while.
A few moments later.
It is finished. We are done. Honestly, that is what I wish I could say, but it isn't even close to being done. However, we're going to go take a tour right now to show you what I have done. This is actually the least finished part of the build. This is going to be our quote-unquote control room. We're going to go check that out. Also, don't mind the Z fighting there between the walls. But in here is going to be a bunch of displays, and I'm also going to have different things to control the power in here up on this platform. But for now, it is empty. However, the actual factory is laid out, and I've got the basic shape all set. So we're going to go check that out right now. So in here, this is the top floor where the smelters are. I've got 48 of them laid out. I still haven't piped everything up yet. As you can see, it all needs the conveyor belts and whatnot. But this is what we have so far. So I went with a sort of gray and a navy blue theme for the build. So basically it's a bunch of grays and then navy blue as an accent color. So basically the top floor is all just the smelters here. And take a look out front here, got a nice beautiful view. And I don't actually have any stairwell going up or down the floors yet, so we're gonna go take the cheaty path here, which isn't really the way you're supposed to go up and down the floors, but for now, this will have to do. So this is where all of the constructors are. There are 80 of them in this room here. They're all laid out nice and neatly. So all of the ones, actually not all of them, all of the blue ones that you see, the navy blue ones, are our iron plate constructors. All of the white ones we have here are for our screws. And then over here, last but not least, these few over here are for our iron rods. And this is the constructor floor. Can I get through here? Yeah, I can go down over here. So we're gonna go down another floor here, down to where the assemblers are. And I've got the assemblers color coded as well. All of these blue ones I think are rotors. Oh no, these are modular frames. And then you guys are going to be the reinforced iron plates. So we got 14 reinforced iron plates. I think, was it 6? We got 6 modular frames. And then we have 6 rotors being made here. So this is the bottom floor. Like I said, it's, you know, it's not quite done yet. There's some more aesthetic things to be done, and obviously all of the conveyor belts gotta be piped in and whatnot. Here you go, nice. These windows go up all the way through the building. Let's go over here to where the miners are. We'll check out what I did over there. So more Z fighting, ignore that. So in here, I put a road actually going through the build. So I got a road that's going to be carrying all of the stuff that the trucks have been carrying from the you know, for the Caterium and the steel and the black powder factory. All that's going to be coming through this road here, and then we're gonna have to redo the transport hub, quote unquote, over here at some point. But for now, I've got the road in, and it goes through here where the miners are. This, I don't know, this great view. I think it looks beautiful down here. So all of the miners are going to get piped up through these holes in the wall back there. And then on the other side here, done the same thing. I've got a road heading out towards where the coal plant is. So this is what the building looks like from the outside. Still kind of square, well, rectangle to be more exact, but it looks slightly more interesting than it used to. And we'll go take a peek around front here. Also, I don't want to tell you guys how long it took me to build this, considering how basic it looks. Let's just say I now have 91 hours in the game. Yeah. I am not very good at building, so this took a lot longer than it should have. So this is the front of the building. Thought it looked kind of cool. Very proud of my work here, even if it isn't the best thing you will ever see. It is the best I have ever done. And I've also learned quite a bit while building this, so hopefully future builds will be even better. Oh, and ignore that ramp, that is temporary. But we will actually go and take a better look at the outside of the back there as we head around here. Alright. So, I mean, not much to show. There's a lot of work to be done back here. It's just the basic shape and some painted beams for an accent. But I thought it looked alright. So this is the outside. Also, I'm sure some of you noticed that this is crooked. Originally, I had this line, this conveyor belt going through over here, right where that is, but I had to move it over one, so I'll be shifting all of these over one foundation that way. And so it'll be nice and straight at some point. So just disregard any crookedness that you see. Then over here on this side, you get a better view this angle. No, oh. Hang on, you guys you didn't see that. Didn't see that. Hopefully I'll do some work here to make it less bland. But this is the build so far. I hope you guys find this enjoyable. I don't want to say fun building this because it's been a bit of a struggle, but I've learned quite a bit while building this. Now I have the very cool task of figuring out how I'm gonna pipe all of this stuff together and make it function. All I have to do is connect this power pole to this power pole, and theoretically the factory will be running. Right, I've got green on this floor. There's some materials that have already gone through the factory because I turned it on partially on accidentally early on when I was messing around with the wiring. So some of the machines look like they're already going. Nice. Let us go up to the top floor here. Got all the ores coming through on this side. Go check the other side real quick. Alright, looks like this one still hasn't come through. Oh, there it is. Although it looks like it is only running... It's not running at the correct speed, it looks like. So I'll have to figure that out at some point. But for now, it is moving, which is good. Alright. Oh, I missed one, apparently. What's wrong with you? Alright, so there might be a few bugs here or there. Looks like you're just not getting your ore yet. Alright, anyways, you might notice there's a bit of a difference up on this floor. I actually way overbuilt the number of smelters I needed. I need 48 smelters. I built 64. So it is a lot less crowded up here. Which was great because everything barely fit. So let us go down one floor here. I guess we'll take the express route. Alright, down to this floor. Let's see. I see some yellows, but everything else is green, so that's good. That means we're at least got everything powered. So I also... Actually, yeah, this floor I dramatically realigned as well. All of the smelters are now just running in straight lines down the factory instead of the way I had them configured before. Although I did not mess up the number of things I needed this time. Alright, so this looks good. Let's go down to the bottom floor, where we will also see some changes. I actually blew out this wall here that I had because the fact that the floor holes were poking through the other side of the wall anyways, so I was like, okay, might as well just remove all of that. And let us see, so I got yellows and greens everywhere, so it looks like I didn't forget to plug anything in. Oh, I did forget to put the foundation back here. So one thing I was having a big problem with was trying to make sure all of the spaghetti was functioning with the conveyor system. I don't really want to show you what's going on downstairs, but we're gonna go down there and I'll show it you. It's pretty ugly, to be honest with you, but if it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid. So this is all of the conveyor system for this bottom floor here. Everything is running all over the place down here. And then they go back up to the floor, up to the first floor there. And then the final products come down. And they all come out here over that way. So let us get out of here. We are never going to go down here ever again. I think I've worked out all of the bugs. I've got green lights everywhere now, which is great. I'd forgotten a few minor things as far as connecting conveyor belts and making sure the conveyor lifters were Mark IIIs when they needed to be. And I'd actually forgotten to overclock one of the miners up on the hill over there, so that was a big issue. But everything is being filtered properly into the bins now, which is wonderful. But I've already noticed our next problem. Our max consumption is now higher than our max capacity. So in the next episode, we're already going to be upgrading and rebuilding our coal power plant. So that'll be fun. But that's going to have to do it for today's episode. So I hope you all enjoyed and you guys like the new build. I spent a lot of time on it and I'm not even finished yet, which makes me really sad. So until next time, guys, have a good one. Here's a quick bonus for the end of the video here. This is what the factory on the bottom floor looks like with lumen on. Since there are no lights except for whatever the conveyor belts and the actual little lights on the machines, which I don't think they actually properly throw off any light as far as lumen's concerned. So there is no light down here whatsoever. The other floors are not much better. The top floor is not too bad because it has the huge windows, but the rest of the factory just can't see a damn thing.